Hey everyone, and in this video, I'm gonna talk about some important topics that should you use any CSS frameworks, and if you should use, then which one to use. Okay, which one do you use? So let's get started with the video and let's answer the first question, that should you use any CSS framework. Okay, to answer that question first, um, you should know about yourself first, that what you are learning, okay, what you are focusing on. I have created three conditions. The first condition is that you are focusing only on front end development. Okay, this is the first condition, and the second condition is you are focusing on back end, and the third is you are doing both. Okay, that means you are doing full stack development. Okay, so let's come to the first condition, that is you are focusing on front end and you don't have much interest in backend, or you just don't want to do backend. Okay, so let's come to this point. For that, if you are focusing on front end, for that I would recommend you that before stepping into any CSS frameworks, you should at least learn some important and basic concepts of CSS. Okay, so just don't say that I would like to just get step into CSS framework and I don't want to learn any CSS. No, that will not work at all. If you are focusing on front end, you have to learn CSS. There is no other choice. But I will tell you about something later. Okay, so don't worry. I am just saying that you should learn only few concepts. Okay, so like the important ones, like first of all, the margin padding. This is so easy, and some position and grid system or flexbox. Okay, so these are the like few very important topics in CSS, in vanilla CSS. Okay, so you should learn at least these topics, these like 5 to 6 topics, at least these, and then you can go in CSS frameworks. Okay, in any other frameworks that you should use. And why I am telling you that you should use these concepts first, because as you said that you are interested in front end, and for front end development you have to know some concepts of CSS, because in CSS framework also you need to like modify something sometimes and change the value of something. For that also you need to have some concepts in your mind so that you can change it. Okay, so for that reason I am saying you should learn these 5 to 6 basic concepts and basic topics of CSS. And let's come to which CSS framework you should use if you are learning the front end. Okay, so I will recommend you these two CSS frameworks. First is Bootstrap and second is Tailwind CSS. Okay, so why these two? First of all, let's come to Bootstrap. Bootstrap is the best CSS framework in which you are getting best ready to use templates and components for your website or anything you are making. Okay, best ready to use components, and you don't need much concepts of CSS. Okay, because unlike Tailwind, it is very easy to understand and very easy to modify also. Okay, so this is the reason for Bootstrap, that you can use almost very much ready to use templates and components. And I will recommend you the second CSS framework, which is Tailwind, and that's because it is the closest CSS framework to the original vanilla CSS. Yes, you heard right. It uses almost same concepts that the vanilla CSS use. Okay, so if you are using Tailwind, then your vanilla CSS concepts will be also clear. Okay, and one major advantage of Tailwind over Bootstrap is that you can modify very much in your vanilla in your website. Okay, for example, I'm giving you an example. In Bootstrap there are only few colors, okay, in Bootstrap the blue color is called primary, the red color is called danger, and like yellow is called warning, and these are pretty much it. These There are like only few colors in Bootstrap, but in Tailwind you get all the colors option. And this is one example. There are a lot of more examples in which Tailwind is better than Bootstrap. Okay, and there's one disadvantage also of Tailwind, and that is the installation process of Tailwind. It takes a lot of time to install Tailwind in your HTML, okay, and you need to write a lot of commands. Not a lot of commands, but if you install it for like 4 to 5 times, then you are used to it. You will be used to it. There's no worry. But still, you need it will taking like about 2 minutes to install Tailwind. Okay, but in Bootstrap you need to just copy one line and paste it in your HTML. Okay, but not in Tailwind. Okay, so this is the part for the front end ones. Okay, the people who want to focus on the front end. And now let's come to the people who want to focus on back end more and not in front end. Okay, so let's come to this point. And if you are learning backend, if you have more interest in backend development, then I will recommend you not to learn CSS. Okay, not focus on CSS, any CSS, vanilla CSS, not to focus on, not to waste your time on that. And as you are learning backend more, I will recommend you to only use CSS framework. Okay, but if you want to learn some concepts you can, but I will not recommend you. Okay, this will just waste your time as you are focusing on only backend. So you should use your time and brain only on backend. Okay, should not use your time in any CSS concepts. Okay, and for that I have only one CSS framework for you, and that is Bootstrap. As I have told you the advantages, it is the best CSS framework, and it has almost every component that you need in your website. Okay, and if you are focusing on backend, so this is the best CSS framework I will recommend you, and you should use only this framework only and no other framework. Okay, that will just waste your time. And do not ever touch Tailwind if you are focusing on backend. Okay, do not ever touch, only use Bootstrap. So this is the part for backend ones, that you should use only Bootstrap and not focus on CSS. That will, why would you focus on CSS if you are just learning backend? Okay, your main focus is backend, so that is the reason I am recommending you Bootstrap. And now let's come to the people who want to learn full stack development. Okay, so for that one, the points will be same as the one I have told you about the front end one. Okay, the first question. So the point will be same, that if you are doing full stack, you should learn the main concepts of CSS, like I have already said, position, flexbox, grid, and some input tags, not input tags, sorry, and some like position, margin, padding. Okay, and some transitions, animations also. So these are some important topics that you should learn. And after that, that you are focusing on both front end and back end, you can use some CSS frameworks, and I will recommend you these two only, the Bootstrap and Tailwind, because these two are the only ones that is on the top of the list of CSS frameworks. And if you are using any other, if you want to use any other, then I will also recommend you in later. Okay, so wait for it. And let's come to the part that which framework you are using when you are doing full stack. So I have recommend you Bootstrap and Tailwind. Okay, and so now let's come to the part that if you don't want to use Bootstrap and Tailwind and you think that it is boring, or you want to learn something new, CSS framework, learn new CSS tools and frameworks. So for that reason, I will recommend you. I am naming few CSS frameworks that are pretty much good. Okay, so the first one is Foundation. It is a good CSS framework and it has a lot of components and templates that you can use. And the second one is UI Kit. Okay, UI Kit is also pretty good. It also have very components, templates ready to use. And third one is Bulma, and it is also like same, but it does not have much templates or components, but it still have pretty much good ones that you should use in your website. Okay, so these are the three alternatives to the CSS framework if you don't want to use Bootstrap and Tailwind. But I will still recommend you to only use these two, Bootstrap and Tailwind. But if you are just have curiosity in your mind and want to use other, so these three are the one: Foundation, Bulma, and UI Kit. Okay, and this is the video, guys. I hope you have cleared your all doubts, and if you have any other doubt, let me know in the comments down below, and on what topic I should make a video, let me know that also in the comment down below, so I will clear your doubts on that topic also. And this is it for this video, guys. I will see you guys in the next one.